So I went into YouTube and I searched Sniper Ghost Warrior games ranked, and I didn't find any video. So I called bullshit on that. So today we're gonna rank every Sniper Ghost Warrior game from worst to best. There are 3 games that I like in this series, so get ready with me to pop some heads. It's the year 2010 and Call of Duty Modern Warfare just had a huge success, especially all ghillie dub mission from the OG MW. So every game trying to rip them off, and Sniper Ghost Warrior is no stranger. The only problem being that the game is, well, bad, like worse than Call of Duty, like way worse than Call of Duty. Where do we even begin? Well, it has a Call of Duty gameplay-ish. The only difference is the sniper. The game approach to stealth is slightly different. You only have sniper rifle, a pistol, and a throwing knife, and you'll have to utilize that into approaching your objective. On paper, it sounds cool, but in reality, it sucks. Everything about this game sucks. The mission design is one of the worst things I have ever seen in a video game, and Sniper Ghost Warrior 1 is absolutely one of the worst games I have ever seen, because the game has a huge amount of bugs. Like, they didn't even fix it today. It was unplayable. Plus, the game is extremely linear, like you don't have that much thing to do, and the game tried to be a stealth tactical shooter, which it sucks at both, because honestly the stealth doesn't work in this game. People will notice you without even any reason to, and sometimes you'll be in the grass and they will expose you. And you think we're finished? That's not even half of it. The game tries to push the story upon you from time to time, so we'll have to talk about the story, and it sucks. Tried to rip Call of Duty, but somehow they made it even more generic than the recent Call of Duty stories, and holy shit is it bad. Like, there are no characters to any of them. Plus, you don't feel like that aberration feeling you get in Call of Duty. No, you feel like they're just video games character try to fit in wherever this piece of shit is. And not only that, the game tries to push Call of Duty scenes like having guns in a sniper game. Yeah, well, that's not particularly a bad thing, but the game does it in the worst way possible because of the guns recoil and how loud everything is. Is it enjoyable? Yeah, I think Sniper Ghost Warrior 1 is dumb fun, and for me it does work, especially nowadays. You only have to pay like $5, and on sales it's like $1 only, perhaps even less, and sniping in this game is kind of amusing. You can have fun with it. I had fun. I have finished the game like twice in a span of 3 days or 4 days, so yeah, I liked it, but holy shit is it a bad game, and I wouldn't recommend anyone to play it if you don't want to lose your time. But if you're interested, maybe give it a try. However, the worst game in the series. Now, hear me out. Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 isn't a bad game. Actually, it's better than the first game in so many ways that you can't even imagine. However, it's an open world game, and it's trying to rip Ubisoft open world games, and it does not succeed in any way at all. Where do we even begin? The game is bugged as hell. Can't even play 5 minutes in this game without even seeing one glitch, and sometimes game-breaking glitches. How's the actual open world? Well, it sucks. Most of the times you have to travel into your objectives using the vehicles, and the game have a huge amount of loading screen, which lasts forever, by the way, and it's not fun, trust me. Like, the gameplay is alright. I don't think the gameplay is bad or anything, but how sensitive the enemies can be is extraordinarily worse than even the first game. But it does have redeeming qualities. As I said, the gameplay isn't bad. It's alright actually. The sniping can be a bit amusing with the additional settings for the sniper and the adjusting that you can do. The gameplay is alright. The only problem, it wasn't done right, especially with the amount of glitches that you have. But I have to say something. Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 does try sometimes, and when it does try, sometimes it succeeds. So I wonder what went wrong. But actually, I know what went wrong. They were trying to copy Ubisoft, but actually it's an indie game, but shaped like AAA title, and that isn't a good sign. Trust me. You have side missions, you have points of interest, you have main missions and collectibles, all of which are just, it's not fun. It has a huge amount of things that you can do, and it's it's actually the longest game in the series, and it doesn't make up for it. But how's the actual story? Well, it's alright. It's not the worst thing ever. Like, it's definitely not worse than the first game, but it's alright. I mean, it's generic shit, and sometimes it's less than generic, leading towards the bad side, but the game is not fun. I wouldn't recommend it, but it does have its moments, I have to say, and it does have some interesting difficulty settings here and there, but the problem is you have to replay the game, which I'd rather drink my own piss at a desert than replaying Sniper Ghost Warrior 3.
Что за фигня?
Now into Sniper Ghost Warrior 2. Now, I actually like this game. It's definitely not a great game, trust me, like it's mediocre almost. It's a huge improvement upon everything the first game did, and it released in 2013, 3 years after the first Sniper Ghost Warrior, and it does show. The story with the whole Russian thing and whatever is actually alright, and there are some characters do show some charisma here and there, and it's not a bad story, not at all, but it just, again, it just mediocre shit. The first game was very linear, but Sniper Ghost Warrior 2 is even more linear. How can you fuck this up? The game is alright, actually the game is very good. Why did they make it this linear? And due to its being this linear, the game most of the time wasn't fun, unfortunately. I'm very sad that this game went the way it went, because it has so much potential and it's so much better than the first game, but it is what it is. And the bullet cam is actually alright. Doesn't happen frequently as the first Sniper Ghost Warrior, which is a great thing, and it does have its few tweaks on the bullet cam. But yeah, it does have its flaws like the enemy AI and stuff. Yeah. It's a mediocre game, but it's actually alright and I really liked it. I would say pick it up for a cheap price. Now into the last two, which is Contracts 1 and 2. Now, I do think Contracts 1 does have a very good skeleton, which is not used well in this game. And the main problem in this game that you are very under level in this game. And how can you level up? You'll have to do some stupid challenges. And when I say stupid, I mean hardly stupid.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Most of the times the challenges just compromise your stealth or whatever you're doing, and it's only few challenges, and depending on them is an unforgiven sin, which made the game for me unfun, especially with how sensitive the AI can be, and sometimes you'll just shoot people from a mile away and they can still see the body. And the mission design is I want to say it's alright, but actually as I remember there are many times which the mission design just sucked, but it's not all bad actually. I do think that, as I said, the game has a very good skeleton on basics, but it's unfortunately wasn't utilized well. It's more of a hitman game, so there are contracts where you can go up close and personal with them or shoot them from afar or whatever you do. Some really cool concepts here and there, but as I said, the game was really annoying because of how under-leveled you can be at the first playthrough. But on the much later playthroughs, maybe it's good, maybe it's alright actually, but it's not a bad game. It's definitely not a bad game. It's just a good vision into the series, which later on brings some good things, which leads us to number 1. Now into the best game in the series, and actually one of my favorite games in 2021. Well, I only played 4, but it's good. Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2. What can I say about this game? This game is lovely. It's not a great game, but holy shit is it enjoyable as fuck. And this game is divided into 2 type of contracts, which is long range contracts and standard contracts, and they both work well. Well, actually Contracts 2 fixes everything wrong with the first game. So in order for you to make a very difficult game, you'll have to make it very polished, and we all know Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts isn't polished, at least the first game. So Contracts 2 just toned the AI a little bit and toned the difficulty a little bit and made it just quite astonishing. The long range contracts are almost perfect, like you have to shoot from miles away, and it's so satisfying every time you get a hit. And plus the standard contracts, which works even well. Some of them are too long. I wish they were like 10 contracts instead of 5, but yeah, it does work, and it's just normal shit and it's very satisfying. That's for the gameplay. As for the thing that they fixes, which is the challenges.
More, dear. Come on, more. Give me some more, even more, dear. Come on. Wait a minute.
Now you have way more challenges and you get skill points for completing just the objectives, which is a huge improvement upon the first game. So that was very nice thing to see. And plus, there are no complications with the loadout and the skills. It's pretty straightforward, and every sniper has its use. You have a heavy sniper rifle for long ranges, and you have light and medium for just close or medium ranges. Do wonders for this game, and I adore this game. Actually, I have spent okay, don't call me crazy, but I have spent 15 hours in one day playing just Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2.
No.
So yeah, I have a very special place for this game in my heart. I just finished it yesterday while playing for 15 hours, and I will be playing more, and hopefully I'll be enjoying it even more. Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2 is a huge improvement in the series, and I definitely looking forward for Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 3. I maybe will pre-order it, and yeah, that's it about Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2. So, Sniper Ghost Warrior series is a very interesting series. Like, it's not very good, but it's not very bad, so you can't even punish it that much. And it does have its enjoyment, and does have its flaws here and there, but it's definitely an interesting one, and one that keep improving upon every installment. So, yeah, I like this series, and I look forward in the future. And I like CI games, actually. I know they make very bad games, but I just like bad games. So, yeah, that's it about Sniper Ghost Warrior series ranked. And I made a video about Sniper Ghost Warrior 1 or 2. You can hit me up if you want to see contracts reviews or Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 review or any Call of Duty game or anything. You can hit me up in the comments, or you can just check out my channel. And thank you for watching. See you.
Objectives.
Fucking traitor!
Spare me the insults. Captain, drag him deeper into the forest and put a bullet in his head.